Was poppin', back with more intense Draft League content. So after 8 weeks of pure evil Emvee, and our last deed, which was flinging a tomato right at Joey Pokegame's face, we begin the quarterfinals. Now before I finished the regular season as the #1 seed, I was allowed to pick my opponent from the people that made playoffs. I decided to take on my friend Vivid, who has an insanely powerful team and a super difficult matchup. Of course, this was my choice. So why did I choose this matchup if I thought the Pokemon I would face would be difficult? The reason is because he defeated Joey, and evil Emvee needs to put him in his place because Joey is mine. His face belongs to me for flinging tomatoes. He has an extremely scary team consisting of threats like Chi-Yu, Greninja, Golden-Go, Enamor's Kleavor, and much more. Stuff like Mudsdale is quite annoying as well, and potential Terra Captains in Abomasnow and Poliwrath. Even things like Hisuian Sneasel, which can be quite offensive, and bulky with the Violite can be annoying as well. So, I decided to start off with Dudunsparce. Of course, I brought my 6 favorite Pokemon that I thought would be really great for this matchup, and Choppleberry Dudunsparce is really solid in that it can sponge fighting type attacks from Poliwrath, close combats from Kleavor, etc. And I guess also low kick from Greninja pretty easily. Agility Calm Mind, so we're running Double Dance with Boomburst Flamethrower, which hits pretty much everything on his team. And this EV spread here in particular, with 222 speed, we can outrun Kleavor with a Choice Scarf after 1 agility. And then this special defense allows us to tank a +1 Hydro Pump from Battle Bond Greninja if it's Life Orb. That's really cool. And then yeah, special attack defense, whatever. Pretty good. And Rattled because there's a good chance he could hit us with a U-turn, a Dark Pulse, a this and that, activate our speed boost. So if we can Calm Mind, get a Rattle boost. I mean, just the Rattle boost in general makes us faster than regular Chi-Yu, which is pretty cool. But then if we Agility Calm Mind, get the Rattle boost, we're faster than like everything. So that's really nice as well. Now, I have triple AV on this team, right? Because of the fact that he has a very top-heavy team in the sense that he's got Chi-Yu and Golden-Go and a whole bunch of scary special attackers. Greninja, Enamorous, whatever. I have triple AV. So starting off with AV Terra Captain Espeon, Terra Electric, right? Psychic, Terra Blast, Shadow Ball, Power Gem. This Pokemon here can sponge attacks really well with AV on the special side, and it does some pretty good damage as well. Terra Blast can 2-hit KO, +1 Calm-Minded Enamorous Therian if it's like max HP. Power Gem is great for Chi-Yu, Kleavor, etc. Shadow Ball is for Golden-Go and Psychic, just in general, just to have Stab. I think it's really good. Magic Bounce for the bouncing back of hazards if he brings Spidops or any kind of hazard mon in general. And enough speed for Timid Chi-Yu. Then we have Ursaluna Bloodmoon, of course, off the bench. AV 4 attacks, as of course the same as SPL and Gudra, and a nice Chinese EV spread. If you can notice my EV spreads, all of them are Chinese EV spreads. Look at this, at least in 4 stats, and we have them all in 4 stats for these Pokemon. But Ursaluna Bloodmoon is really great versus my opponent's team because it can sponge hits on the special side and just do a lot of damage with Blood Moon, Earth Power, whatever. Vacuum Wave is great versus threats like the Chi-Yu, Greninja. Hits the Golden-Go super effectively because of Mind's Eye, so that's nice. And then we have Gudra. AV Gudra is, I think, really great versus his team because it can sponge things relatively well with the AV. It has a natural base 150 special defense, so you already know this thing can sponge special attacks for days. But I EV'd in defense just because I know for a fact, because my special defense is great either way, I wanted to EV in a way that I can sponge low kicks, because that's something Greninja would love to run for a mon like this, because its special defense is so good at sponging things like Dark Pulse, Ice Beam, Flamethrower, Overheat. It can sponge all those moves. But yeah, its physical defense needs to be patched. That's why I'm running a more Phys-Def AV set with Gooey. And Gooey actually was a last minute change that I just made because I was running Shell Armor so that I don't get crit, because I don't want to get hacks in playoffs. I want to win. but Gooey actually helps a lot because it can slow down threats like Low Kick Greninja, especially after Battle Bond, so that my Sneasler can outrun, or things like the Cleavor if it's Choice Scarf, or Hisuian Sneasel, stuff like that, so that SPL can outrun. That could be really cool. But yeah, 4 attacks on this thing. Heavy Slam, Body Press, Flamethrower, Surf. Kind of has an application for pretty much everything on his team. And yeah, then we have Manaphy. Now Manaphy this time, not a Tail Glow set, not an offensive set, not even a Heart Swap set. It's a defensive, kind of a defensive, like more a support set than anything, with Rocky Helmet, knockoff to remove items like Light Clay from Abomasnow, or just any item in general it can remove. Could be pretty nice. And then Skull Dazzling Gleam, I think, just kind of hits everything pretty nicely. And Haze, which I was running Heart Swap at first, but Heart Swap I don't think can steal boosts even from like Golden Go or whatever. It's like Nasty Plot because of its Good as Gold ability. I tried to test a bunch of stuff, but yeah, Heart Swap, I think Haze is just the better option because Haze goes through everything. Removes stat boosts from things like Greninja, Enamorus, that can set up Calm Mind. He loves to bring Enamorus with Calm Mind Iron Defense, so we definitely want Haze for that. It's just good against a lot of things that try to set up, especially because he has Veil opportunities, so gotta make sure that that doesn't happen. Finally, Sneasler with Choice Scarf is able to outrun mons like the Greninja and Choice Scarf Chi-Yu, Choice Scarf Gongo, whatever. But Adamant Nature and 68 Special Defense is really cool because it can sponge things from Greninja. It's a really good check to that Pokemon. And we only need enough speed for Choice Scarf Chi-Yu. I don't think we really need to outrun like a lot of things beyond that. I don't think he has a lot of things beyond that anyways that we need to outrun. Greninja is naturally outrun by this. It's fast, so if he's running Choice Scarf Greninja, it's gonna be faster than Choice Scarf Sneasler anyways. So this is the way to run this Pokemon with Adamant Nature. Just get as much damage as possible. And Fire Punch is actually a 2-hit KO on Golden Ghost, so that could come in clutch. Because I assume that his Golden Go would run a Dark Resist Berry for potential Fling Big Nugget. So that's going to be our team. And I have a feeling he's going to bring most of the Pokemon I'm worried about because those are his best Pokemon. He has a very top-heavy team. If you look at his team, right? His team has all the big threats that he picked up first. And then some, I mean, like, I don't see any of his mons having low value in particular. I just think that he has a lot of top-heavy Pokemon. You know, Chi-Yu, Greninja, Golden Go, Cleavor, all those mons, Enamorus, all those mons up top are just mons that I could see him bringing. So that's why I'm running Triple AV, Chople Berry this, Bulky this, and then Choice Scarf this. So we'll see what happens. The game should be starting soon. I know he said he has some stuff that he's taking care of right now. We'll see what happens, but yeah, game should start whenever it does, and when it does, I will queue into it. So I'll see you all for the battle real soon. After 8 weeks, we are here for the quarterfinals of the SPL, which could possibly be our last game of the season. I, for one, really hope our story doesn't end here. I've been thoroughly enjoying bringing only the finest Evil Emvee content for you all. Now, our opponent today is Vivid, and overall, his team's extremely scary to prep for. I, of course, made the decision myself to face him, only because he beat Joey during the regular season, so I was curious to see what he is actually made of, putting him up against an Evil Lord. Now, what's interesting is that I wasn't sure how late he was going to be to our game, since he told me his kid wasn't feeling well, and this can't be a coincidence, right? Evil Emvee broke Seabad's computer when he had to face me, sent 6-foot hacks back to the hospital, and now Evil Emvee is destroying Vivid's family, and he doesn't even know it. Pretty wild, but you know what? The plot thickens, and he'll know soon enough because we are here to win. So I will use whatever I have at my disposal. Let's see what he's brought against me. Now, he's got the Abomasnow, Greninja, Cleavor, Poliwrath, Golden Go, and Chi-Yu. The 6 mons that I was most scared of facing. Ah, yes, of course. But one thing to note is that he did not bring the Mudsdale nor the Enamorus, so we don't have to worry about those 2 Pokemon. That is pretty cool. But still, a very optimal 6 to bring to this matchup, and he has both of his Terra Captains. One of them is going to be able to Terra in this match. Not sure which one it's going to be, but I'm kind of leaning it towards it more than likely being Poliwrath, because Abomasnow is great unless it's like a more offensive set that he could Terra with. Poliwrath does seem like a mon that would want to Terra versus my team, since it helps itself out versus Manaphy and stuff like that. But yeah, I think Sneasler is the lead here. My pattern is if I see a Abomasnow, I lead Sneasler. If I don't see a Abomasnow, I lead Manaphy. My Manaphy is more of a support set this week with Rocky Helmet, Knockoff, and stuff like that. So should be pretty good. It has Haze as well. So if he does try to set up Veil and then set up with a bulky sweeper, I can always try to remove stat boosts, which is quite nice to be able to do. And here we go. It's time for the quarterfinals. Ooh, okay. Okay. He decides to challenge me. And this may or may not be his first mistake. We'll find out. It definitely was his kid's first mistake. No, Evil Emvee. This is just Evil Emvee talking. This is not actual Emvee. Alright, let's U-turn out. Let's U-turn out here. And that does a lot. Okay, that was a crit. So that did way more than I thought. And we poisoned it. Not a bad start. Not a bad start to this game. This is the power of Evil Emvee, I'm telling you. So that's wonderful. Putting it nice and low for later. I think here I can probably just U-turn out into Manaphy. I would assume that if he's trying to go for an attack, it'd either be the Aerial Ace if he has that with Sharpness Boost, or Stone Axe just to get up rocks. I think that's going to be his play. And it's going to be Aerial Ace. Nice. Okay. So that does not look like choice band damage. He now takes Rocky Helmet and Poison Chip. So that is phenomenal. I think what I want to do here is probably go for the knockoff, predicting Abomasnow to come in. Because if I can remove the Light Clay if he has that, or a potential choice specs, that could be nice. Those are the two sets that I faced while testing. So we can knock off here and we remove, oh, another crit, not bad, not bad. The Light Clay is gone, okay. So far I'm liking the way things are going. I do think Goodra is the best switch in just in case he goes for the attack versus us. But because it's Light Clay, we know 100% guaranteed it's carrying Aurora Veil. So if he goes for that, it now is going to be on limited turns. And that's what I was hoping to do, because extended turns of the screens is super annoying. And he goes for Leaf Storm. Not bad. Okay, so this is great. My Goodra, of course, is gooey, so I have that just, to reduce speed on certain mons like Battlebond, Greninja, or Cleavor, or anything like that. But yeah, now we get to fire off a good old Flamethrower on something, which does seem to be pretty nice. He goes into Poliwrath. So this Flamethrower won't do a lot unless we burn it. I mean, we were getting very lucky so far, but yeah, nothing yet. So this is fine. Now, the question is, what do I switch into? And I'm thinking Manaphy, right? Manaphy is going to have Rocky Helmet, so it's going to be able to put a little pressure, a little bit of chip here and there. That Poliwrath does seem to be Assault Vest, because that Flamethrower from Goodra did very, very little. Either that or it's like Spadef holding another item. But I do believe that the output we saw from there and no item triggered, like leftovers or anything like that, is a result of AV. And that was actually one of the sets that I did face. One of the first Poliwrath sets I faced while testing. And I tested a lot for this game. Okay, there's an Earthquake, so he's running Earthquake. It's probably going to be Water Stab, Fighting Stab, Earthquake, and depending on what Terra it is, it could have Terra Blast. It could also have Knockoff or something like that too. There's only one turn of Snow left, which means that I could probably just stay in and fire off a Knockoff, get rid of this item. And he decides to Terra. Okay, let's see what it is. Could be Terra Steel, could be Terra Electric. Terra Electric. Okay, so it's probably Terra Blast, I'm thinking. It's designed to beat the Manaphy, so that is solid prep there. But we get rid of the Assault Vest, I believe, right? It should be. Yes, nice. I had a feeling it would be that item. Had a feeling. Cool, so yeah, we lose Manaphy here, but already Cleavor's almost dead. We knocked off the Light Clay, and Poliwrath has his item gun and is weakened. Now the question is, what do we go into next? because none of my Pokemon can one-shot it from this range, and the ones that can probably don't want to take an attack because Poliwrath is faster, like Ursaluna or whatever. So now I'm thinking, what do I want to go into? I definitely want to preserve Ursaluna. I definitely want to keep Goodra healthy. And Sneasler, I don't want it to take an Earthquake or any kind of damage right now just because I need it healthy for Greninja. The Dudunsparce, I don't want my Chople Berry popped just in case I need it later and have it at full HP. So I think the only option is probably going Espeon, right? Espeon would allow me to, well, first of all, I'd live any hit. I have to kind of think about whether I want to Terra or not, depending on what his moves are. But yeah, I do think Espeon is great. I'll be able to 2-hit KO this Poliwrath from the HP that it's at with my Psychic, now that its AV is removed, which opens up quite a bit of options. Now, let me check the calc here. If he fires off a knockoff, it does a lot. But wait a second. So, okay, he's Earthquake and Terra Blast. So he has to be Liquidation and Close Combat or Fighting Attack. So if I Terra here, he's not going to go for any fighting move. Or he's probably not going to go for the Earthquake either. It's one of the weaker options. So it's going to be either the Terra Blast or the Water move. So I think I can Terra here and go for Psychic. I do think that's probably one of my best plays to make. Regular Psychic could be cool too. I see, the thing is, if I Terra and he goes for Earthquake, that's going to be really bad. But I don't see him going for Earthquake here. Let's see what happens. So we get the Terra off. We're also Terra Electric too, so we brought the same Terra type, except my Espeon should hopefully be the one that survives in the end. And so I get to go for the Psychic. Yeah, that's like 2 KO range, pretty sure. Liquidation does a lot. That thing is very attack invested, because I'm almost max HP on my Espeon. I'm a bulky Chinese AV Espeon, so yeah, I think instead of trying to overpredict, because I could predict Golden Go to come in, or Chi-Yu, or Greninja, or whatever, I think it's probably in my best interest just to Psychic again, and he stays in. Nice. Wonderful. Very, very good. Poliwrath is gone, did not need to overpredict or anything like that, and he's playing pretty straightforward as well, which he doesn't have to make big plays, right? His team comprises of Mons that just clicks buttons. So this is like the perfect team for him because he doesn't have to like predict or anything. He doesn't have to make any plays. He can just click buttons, and literally anyone could do well with this kind of style team. Yeah, like Scar Flamethrower. So he just clicks buttons there. Now, this game is essentially just, we have to preserve our win cons and we have to sack accordingly. This is what it's gonna feel like, I believe, because I've already lost my Manaphy and Espeon, but I've kept some pretty vital members to the team. The question is, who do I go into now? Because I think I can go either into Ursaluna or Goodra. And I think Ursaluna is better just because I want Goodra healthier for Greninja. Ursaluna can deal with a lot of his team. It's just not as great versus the Greninja, I guess. It's good against Golden Go. Dudunsparce is a mon that can also help with Golden Go. Keeping Goodra healthy is important for low kick from Greninja, depending on the set. So I think, yeah, we can probably just go into Ursaluna, fire off a Bloodmoon, get this mon putting in work. After so long, Ursaluna is back from the bench because I was focused on using mons I hadn't used yet and saving this mon for playoffs. Let's go ahead and fire off a Bloodmoon against whatever comes in, which I'm thinking is Abomasnow. And it is, in fact, Abomasnow. Yes. Beautiful. So this Bloodmoon is going to hurt. Look at this. Ah, the Bloodmoon power. And it looks to me like it can be picked off with a Vacuum Wave. And he can't Terra this mon because he already has Terra'd. Hello? Ah, Chinese EV spreads. A double-edged sword sometimes. I was running a very nice Chinese EV spread on this one. But yeah, we did not knock it out, unfortunately, which is fine. He got up the Veil, but the knockoff removing its Light Clay means that there's not going to be a lot of turns of Veil, so we won't have to worry about like the full 8 turns or whatever of the damage reduction. So yeah, that's fine, but surprised Abomasnow from that range lived a Blood Moon into a Vacuum Wave. That means it's definitely really bulky. Or definitely has some bulk investment into it, which is not surprising. It's a support mon for the team that also has damaging options like Leaf Storm. But we got rid of Abomasnow, and that's wonderful. Abomasnow, Poliwrath are gone, which leaves 4 huge threats. Tempted to Blood Moon here, but I don't think it's a great idea, and I'll tell you why. Because I feel like we can go Sneasler instead, in case this is Screens plus Swords Dance, or Screens plus Workup, or whatever setup that this thing might have. And plus, Blood Moon's not going to do much anyways, due to the fact that he has damage reduction now from Aurora Veil. So I think we could actually go into Sneasler and potentially Brick Break. Depending on what he goes for here, and depending on how much damage we take, I think we can go for a Brick Break after and break the Aurora Veil. Goes for the Hydro Pump. Okay, so we should live this. Ooh, that did a lot. Okay, and it's Life Orb. Okay, so it's very, very specially offensive. So that means that he, more than likely, because of Life Orb, might have Water Shuriken. Ooh, and I don't want to stay in on Water Shuriken. That is for sure. So I need to scout for the Shuriken. Go into Goodra here, I think is the play. Because I don't know if he has Low Kick or not on the set. It doesn't seem like he might. Battle Bond could carry Low Kick if he's running a mixed attacking set, but that Hydro Pump did a lot with Life Orb, so I'm not sure entirely. And I am running a little bit of Spit F on my Sneasler just for these kind of scenarios, and he does have Shuriken, nice. So I'm glad that I made this switch. Extremely vital switch that I had to make here. And he got all 5 Shurikens. That's alright. That is perfectly fine. Takes another round of Life Orbs. Snow stopped, which is alright. My play is to probably just Body Press here, I think is what I gotta do. Yeah, let's Body Press, see what he does. If he stays in, then this mon gets severely weakened, which is amazing for us. Which is gonna be super nice for us to get as much damage on this mon as possible. I guess he could switch out into like Cleavor or something if it survives. But maybe he thinks it's not going to survive, so he's saving Cleavor. I'm thinking that the reason he stayed in on Sneasler turn 1 is that maybe because Cleavor is Scarfed. So if he knows that I'm Choice Scarf Sneasler, that is interesting for the end game. He ends up going Golden Go, which means that, okay, so here's the thing. Veil is just worn off. If I can get enough damage on this Golden Go, I can clean up with Sneasler. I need to remove Golden Go and I need to remove Greninja for Sneasler to win the game in the end. But that's going to take some time. I'm tempted to fire off a Flamethrower just to kind of see what set this is, how much damage it takes, if it's offensive or if it's not. I'm not too sure what set this could be, but it does seem like if it's Veil, it's probably Nasty Plot. And so if I go hard Ursaluna here and he Nasty Plots up, I get a big Make It Rain off on myself and don't do any damage to this immediately. Whereas if I can just stay in and Flamethrower right now, I get enough damage on this. And if he tries to get this thing knocked out, I can Revenge with Sneasler's Fire Punch, or I can Vacuum Wave, or I can Dudunsparce it, depending on how bulky it is. And he just Shadow Balls here. Okay, so this should not do much at all. Gets the Spit F drop though, it's a little bit annoying, but that's fine. I can Flamethrower here. And I do some damage, nice damage, and I get a burn. Okay, cool. Very cool. So Spit F drop and a burn. So leftovers won't be healing this up a lot, which is wonderful. And this means that I would want to save Goodra's HP for a potential Low Kick from Greninja. So I am going to go Ursaluna here. Basically, we need to chip down Golden Go and Greninja as much as possible. If not, just be able to completely remove them entirely. That would be something that I really need to do. There's another Shadow Ball. Cool. So, now is the time. Now is the time to make this Ursaluna destroy Golden Go. We are going to get a knockout here, guaranteed, because Earth Power is free. It hits Golden Go, Greninja, Chiyu, and Cleavor. If you make it rains, we shouldn't take too much. I'm rocking an AV on this Mon. Triple AV team with Ursaluna, Goodra, and Espeon. Coming in clutch versus a lot of his special attackers being very prevalent on his team, on his draft, you know? It's like, there's just a lot of hard-hitting special attackers on his team. So I had to come prepared. Goes to the Make It Rain. Doesn't do much, that's fine. It may or may not put me in Hydro Pump range. I think it probably does. It probably puts me in Hydro Pump range here. But he could also miss Hydro Pump. So there's the Greninja. Is it better for me to switch into Goodra here or Vacuum Wave? Because if he tries to predict Goodra and go for a low kick, or if he tries to predict my Goodra switch, it's probably better for me just to Vacuum Wave, just to get damage off on this, because it's going to be a 2 KO from this range. Because if he Hydro Pumps again, unless he Hydro Pumps into a low kick, which could be annoying, so I want to get as much damage as I can on this thing. There's the Hydro Pump. He's going to activate Battle Bond, unfortunately, but not much we can do. One safety measure I do have is the fact that my Dudunsparce is EV to survive a Life Orb Hydro Pump from Max Special Attack Greninja, and I do have Chople Berry as well, and I have Rattle Boost for Dark Pulse. So I think what my play is to go, here's what I'm thinking. So Dudunsparce can live, right? Dudunsparce lives. However, my Goodra has Gooey. So if he has any shot of beating the Dudunsparce, it's to Dark Pulse flinch it into another attack, because he can't knock me out from one hit. So if I go Goodra, and if he low kicks, he gets Gooey. If I go to Dudunsparce, the only way he can knock it out is Dark Pulse flinching, but I get a Rattled Speed Boost. But I don't think I'd be faster than Battle Bond. Either way, I think my best play is going into Goodra right now to force him, to make him think that he can stay in with Greninja. It's all a mind game, right? If I go Goodra and he just knocks it out and then I go to Dudunsparce, he's not going to want to switch out his Greninja, right? And then, if Greninja gets sacked, then I win with Sneasler. Brick Break into Brick Break. So let's Body Press here. Oh, he doesn't even have low kick. Okay, cool. It's just Dark Pulse. We're good. We're saved. We're saved. We are saved indeed. It's not even low kick. It's just full special attack. Beautiful. Okay, so that is nice. And this means that I don't think we can lose this game unless Cleavor has... Does Cleavor get priority? I don't even know. But we sack here, I think, is the play. The moment he lost Golden Go and Greninja, it became checkmate, I think. Because no longer does he have priority with Shuriken to knock out my Sneasler. And no longer does he have an immunity to Brick Break or any of my fighting attacks. So this is really good. I would assume he has to close combat here to knock me out. Yes, he does. So that's very nice. And the Gooey Speed Drop comes through. Alright, so now the question is, who do we go into? Do we go Dudunsparce or do we go Sneasler? Now, obviously differential doesn't matter in this game, so I have to potentially be worried about if this Mon has priority in, like, what does it get priority wise? quick attack, I guess. Quick attack is an option. So he might have that. So maybe I go Dudunsparce here, which I have my Chople. Oh, but also the speed drop, right? So if he is actually just Choice Scarf and not some kind of set that can switch up moves and has priority somehow, like quick attack or whatever, then I'll know right now because I'm actually faster than him with the speed drop if he's not Choice Scarf. So I think just firing off a Boom Burst is the play. And yeah, so his close combat went first even after the GUI, which means that he is guaranteed 100% confirmed to be Choice Scarf. Because my Dudunsparce is faster than Chiyu at +1 speed. After a Rattle Boost, it's faster than Chiyu. And at +2 speed, it's faster than Scarf Cleavor. And the last Mon is, in fact, the Chiyu, which will be able to knock me out here, and then we go Sneasler after and Brick Break to win the game. Unless he's Choice Scarf Flame Charge, but then I don't even think it has enough to knock out the Dudunsparce, but he just overheats, which is crazy, because it could have missed. And I don't think he needed that firepower. Actually, maybe he did. With Choice Scarf, maybe he did, but yeah, that's fine, because now we go into our Sneasler and win the game. I think we do with a Brick Break. It should always knock it out. Always. Yes, let's go. And once again, Evil Emvee prevails. That's going to be GG, it's Emvee. Defeated Vivid in this match here. This was a really solid game though. You know, we put in a lot of work, and this game was a clear example of preserving win conditions. Often, you know, it was sack for sack. What can I afford to get damage? What do I need to preserve? What Mon can I let go down after I get rid of one of his Mons? And what Pokemon do I need to eliminate on his side to ensure the victory? By no means was this an easy game because Vivid has the kind of team that just clicks buttons. I think the fortune in this game was pretty balanced on both sides. I think it was a pretty clean game overall. Think about it. Abomasnow survived the Vacuum Wave anyways, so crit knockoff from Manaphy, I don't think it mattered. Neither did the U-turn crit on Cleavor, just because it would have died anyways to a -1 Boom Burst, even if I didn't crit with U-turn, or Brick Break would have swept in the end regardless. Golden Go would have been sacked regardless of the burn because he had no Earth Power switch-ins at that moment in time. On his side, he hit every Hydro Pump, which is good for him. If he missed one Hydro Pump, it would have been over for him. Got 5 Shurikens without loaded dice, and then Spit F drop on Goodra, forcing my switch. But yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with how I built my team and how I played overall. And with that, we are in the semifinals, which I'd have been pretty disappointed if we didn't make at least that far, because after 8 weeks, nobody wants to lose immediately in playoffs. So we are guaranteed at least top 4, which is wonderful. Not yet sure who we face at this time, but hopefully the Evil Emvee story continues all the way to the end, where ideally it's me and Joey in the finals again, which I've been trying to meticulously plan and pull the strings for this one. He's, you know, one of the higher seeds, so that I don't face him in semifinals. And the only way I face him is in the finals if I get that far. Hopefully I do. You know, hopefully the plot armor is gonna stay up to that point and we can exact our revenge. We'll see if that can happen, but yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. Either way, subscribe if you haven't already. We are on the road to 100k, getting closer to 100k, which is the dream. And if you don't want to miss the Heat content, you know what you got to do. And with that being said, I shall see you all on the next one. Peace.